Thank you for tuning in to Dedicated to Health. I'm here with a good friend, really like a brother, my friend Darian Thompson, man. We started at Akron U together, really took every biology class you could think of. We took them together. But it was a journey that, really helped us transition from boys to men and really learn a lot of different life lessons. Now he's doing a lot of great work where he's affecting health on a global scale, really impacting, a lot of the regulations of healthcare as we know it today. So I'll let you explain a little bit more about what you're doing now.
Yeah. So I graduated from the University of Akron with Carl in biology, uh, obviously, as he just stated. And then now I currently work as a regulatory affairs specialist, mainly focused on like the post market side, which means like once our products hit the shelves, how they're affecting patients. Um, I guess yeah, that's what I'm doing now. But I work specifically with medical devices, and not on the pharmaceutical side. So yeah, I mean, I guess that's the short and sweet of it.
Yeah, so I guess one thing that I would want to ask you, off top is what advice would you have for somebody who was going through, a college experience and really just trying to figure out how to get into their career field no matter what it is, because I know that's a challenge that a lot of people face is how to get their foot into the door.
Yeah, I think the first thing I say is like Carlton knows I'm big, man. I'm a Christian, so I say this number one is like follow what God calls you to do. The second thing is get in good community. So like Carlton and I were a part of the same scholarship program. So get in good community. That's number two. And then number three, I think the last thing I would say is just try things. When you know you don't want to do something, don't do it. But when you if you don't know or if you haven't tried, try it. See if you like it. If you don't like it, let it go. And
I know a big part of your journey has been like being led by your faith.
yeah.
And that's kind of one thing I want to ask you about, like, you know, how do you really know, when you're being pulled in one direction or the other?
Yeah. A lot of times, what I typically do is I'll just ask God, and then I think the biggest thing that I look to discern like whether I'm pulling it in the right direction or the wrong direction is I look at His Word. That's like the guide that we're given, and it's like if it's refuting the Word, then I know not to do it. But if it's like in alignment with the Word, then I know to do it. And then sometimes God talks to me as well. So if you really listen, you'll hear him. And again, the first reference though is like going to his word. What does his word say? And then from that point forward, you'll be able to base your decision.
Mm. And so, like, you know, I feel like a lot of times people can really not even know where to start on that. Like, if somebody was really trying to figure out, like, they're trying to go to the word and figure out, where they should move from there, what advice would you have?
Yeah, I guess I'll give the advice I was given, and what actually really helped me out was the first thing I did was just hold myself accountable to reading one scripture a day. A lot of people say, and I think you've actually said it before, just to start off with Proverbs, and I think that's a great place to start because it's kind of easier to digest and it's not that long, and you'll find something new every time you like read through it. So I would say just hold yourself accountable, read one scripture a day. Even for me, like to this day, I mean, I read the Bible on my own, but the first thing I do in the morning, I grab my phone and I go to the Bible app and I look at the verse of the day. So even if it's not Proverbs, uh, just read one verse a day, and then it'll start to um, I'm trying to think of the word. It'll start to pull on your heart, and other things will start to make sense. So
Mm.
yeah, I think Carlton he may not talk about it a lot, but he reads the word as well. So he's got
Yeah,
his own.
I definitely do read the Bible every day. I feel like
What worked for you, I guess, is the question.
What worked for me is really I would just, using the Bible app. The Bible app would help me to get a lot of different plans. And for me that just would, I guess, say help me to cut out the guesswork, because I could find a plan that was just like, specifically based on, I could look up a book of the Bible and find a plan that would go through each chapter, and I might read like 2 chapters in a day. Or I could go through a plan based on a specific emotion that I'm feeling. I might look up like, you know, working on being more calm. And there might be a plan specific for Bible verses that talk about how to deal with different emotions. And that's one thing that I really it helped me to really process things a lot better, because I feel like a lot of times, we can have challenges processing different emotions, and it can cause people to make a lot of different mistakes. I know a lot of people who have made 30-second decisions that they have to pay for years down the road. And it's like, sometimes you just need to take that second and, take a deep breath, maybe read the Bible, maybe find another strategy to, deal with those emotions. But everybody has their own coping mechanism.
Yeah.
And for me, that's just been one way that I deal with negative emotions.
I like to, I guess, add in on what he said too. I would also suggest getting a study Bible as well, because it helps break down the words. So, like going back to your point with the Bible plan, it's like sometimes you need help breaking down the word, and especially like depending on which version you use. But I would just ask God, like honestly, like and go through and see like which one speaks to you the most. Obviously, like the standard, I guess everybody would say is King James version, but then you also have the New King James version, NLT, Message Bible, and a whole bunch. But whichever one speaks to you, that's the one that matters. But yeah, the study Bible can give you like some background knowledge that you may not have, that can help you really dissect and interpret the scriptures as well. So and then going back to his point about emotional regulation, I was telling Carlton earlier, it's like um, when you're really reading your word, it's going to help you regulate, because we're not perfect, but God is perfect. So just being in His Word, He's going to point you in the right direction every time to make the best decision, so that you're not always on that up and down battle of good and evil, good and evil. You can just stay more even kill.
Yeah, and I think that's definitely what it's about, staying even, because you don't want to be too high or too low. It's really just about, finding a way to, be cool. And with that, I want to say thank you for tuning in to Dedicated to Health. Um, and thank you for coming on and spreading the word.
Anytime, Don. Peace. See y'all later.